She's been part of his political revolution since the beginning. Anyone who paid attention during the 2016 election knows who Bernie Sanders is. After announcing a presidential campaign in 2015, running as a Democrat as opposed to an independent, he successfully influenced millions of people across the country, running a platform supported by donations that averaged just $27 per person. His rejection of corporate funds and super PACs set him apart from the rest. Though he did not win, he still urges supporters to continue the political revolution that his campaign started, and he still speaks out on behalf of his values. But before being elected as the longest-serving independent in congressional history, and elected to the Senate in 2007, he was part of the U.S. House of Representatives. He was also mayor of Burlington and was re-elected 3 times. But who is Bernie Sanders' wife? She stood by his side every step of the way and often accompanied him when he was campaigning. But does she share the same ideals and values? What is life like for their family? Here are 11 things to know about Jane O'Meara Sanders. 1. She has multiple college degrees. 2. She has a long career history. Sanders has worked in the juvenile division for the Burlington Police Department, as a community organizer with the King Strait Area Youth Center, and for Volunteers in Service to America. After that, for about 10 years, she was director of the Mayor's Youth Office and department head in Burlington. 3. They met during his campaign for mayor. The couple met just 10 days before Sanders won his campaign for mayor of Burlington, and again at his victory party. The two grew up only 15 blocks away from each other in Brooklyn, New York. Though they didn't marry until many years later, she described the moment she met him. "I sat down and said, 'Who's Bernie Sanders?' They said, 'He's running for mayor.' I said, 'Let's organize a debate.' So we did. He came, and everyone was swarming around him and the other candidates, because they weren't supportive of the mayor. So, being the good Catholic girl, of course I was very nice to the mayor and barely even said hello to Bernie. But when I heard him speak, well, that was it. The police department I was working with supported him after that, and he won 10 days later. We met at the victory party, and that was the beginning of forever." 4. They were both previously married. O'Meara was married to her first husband, David Driscoll, and had 3 children together, Heather, Karina, and David Jr. They divorced shortly after their son was born. Sanders was also married to his first wife, Deborah Schilling Messing, his college sweetheart. They were married for 2 years before divorcing in 1966, and had no children. However, Sanders does have a son, Levi Sanders, from a relationship with his girlfriend, Susan Campbell Mott. 5. They have no children together. Though they don't have biological children together, Sanders considers his wife's 3 kids to be his own. From their blended family, the two have 7 grandchildren as well. 6. She was president of Burlington College. For 7 years, from 2004 to 2011, Sanders served as president of the small liberal arts college. She was responsible for increasing the school's fundraising and oversaw a purchase of property intended to grow enrollment from 200 to 750 students. Talk about a small school. 7. She's accused of bankrupting the college. The purchase of the property may have led to financial ruin, as the college was cash-strapped and struggled to meet payroll. She allegedly over-leveraged the institution by borrowing $10 million to finance a risky campus expansion, assuming she could make payments by increasing enrollment and donations during an economic downturn. She was never formally charged and resigned in 2011. The college closed in 2016. 8. She's since become her husband's advisor. Aside from working alongside him during his presidential campaign, Sanders has described his wife as one of my key advisors, employing her as an administrative assistant, spokeswoman, policy advisor, chief of staff, and media buyer. She's also served in his congressional office as chief of staff and press advisor. 9. Bernie is incredibly proud of her. In an interview with the Burlington Free Press, he agreed, stating, "Obviously Jane has played an important role in the congressional office. Yes, she is a soulmate, a sounding board." And at a town hall event, when asked what his proudest moment was, he said it was being married to Jane for 27 years. How sweet. 10. They have a passion for helping others. As evident by his platform, Sanders has an knack for wanting the best for the American people. And it's the shared value that brought them together. Bernie grew up in a small apartment, while Jane's father suffered health issues when she was just a child. They couldn't afford medical care for his broken hip, which inspired her to want to help. They both believe college should be affordable and that the country needs to invest in young people to carry out these bold ideas. Both think with empathy, a quality that is extremely rare in politics. 11. She's learned a lot from him. Before meeting, she joined protests against the Vietnam War, but was close to quitting politics when Richard Nixon won the re-election. After hearing her now husband speak, she learned the right way to be a public servant, all from him. But he also learns from her and has said that she isn't afraid to offer constructive criticism. She lets me have it if she thinks I made a mistake, he said.